Hi, this is Jill, and I hope that my audio is coming through. I'm having audio problems with this headset. Probably have to buy another one. Today is December 9th, 2012, and um, I wanted to talk about some of the um, OBE type experiences and visions, I guess you'd call them now, at this point in the game. Since my last recording, I have recorded a few videos that I haven't made public because they concern um, me trying to actually enhance my dream state by taking Chantix, short of going to find ayahuasca, which is illegal. Um, that's Chantix is probably the next best thing. However, with the Chantix, I discovered that yes, while it does increase the amount of dreams you have, they're shallow, vapid things that have, you know, there's really no symbolic value to them whatsoever. They're pretty crazy, freaky little things, but they don't really have any kind of value in terms of visions. Now, I have been plagued with visions all my life. By visions, I'm talking about in the dream state that usually happens to me. I didn't realize until a couple years ago that these could possibly be out of body experiences or some sort of remote viewing that I've been doing this whole time. And I don't know what changed a couple of years ago. In 2008, I had a minor stroke, which I had no, long-lasting effects from it. I recovered from it fairly quickly. But the thing that's important is that since that time, especially since 2010, I've been having, I mean, just incredible visions. And for a period there since I'd say September, October, early November, I really wasn't having any vision level type dreams. They were, if I did dream, it was just kind of the garden variety. And so again, I took the Chantix trying to, stimulate that. And I'm going to take it for other reasons too. I'm a smoker, trying to quit. Managed to cut way, way back, but still a little bit. But that was not the primary motivation for taking that. There's something about Chantix that has to do with your serotonin uptake inhibitors that also, for whatever reason, enhances your ability to dream. I have since stopped taking it, and it was mostly successful. Probably might try it again later, but it did give me migraines and did make me sick. But anyway, this is about some of the visions I've had lately. This can be a two-part thing, so because I can't upload more than 15 minutes at a time, I don't feel like paying for extra for that. But lately, I've been having remote viewing type things that's happened to me. I did have one OBE, which was pretty intense. I had laid down for an actual trance session where I was going to put myself in and followed a technique where it involved, you know, chanting and then going into meditation. And then I managed to get myself into the twilight state without too much trouble. And I found myself thrown out of my body and bouncing across the ceiling. And it was weird because I was like when I was in on the ceiling floating upwards, I was smaller than my real self. It was so tiny, maybe tennis ball sized, I'd say, because I'm trying to hang on to the ceiling, but I feel like I'm being thrown at the wall. So I'm dragging across, and that bumpy stuff that's on the ceiling. I was like trying to dig my fingers into that to hang on, but I couldn't. It was like my fingers, I could feel the bumpiness of the ceiling, but I couldn't get purchase. Kind of like you're falling off the side of a cliff and just grabbing rocks as you're going by. That's what it was like. But so anyway, I go flying through the wall. Next thing you know, I'm up floating above the city, and I'm flying off to the west. And to the west of me is California, where I grew up. And next thing you know, I'm flying low over some sort of highway there, and it's about sunset, and which is coincides with the same amount of, same time of day it was that I tried the trance. For me, whatever reason, trances work if they're between 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I know some people say in the middle of the night, at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning using the wake up method. You set your alarm clock and it wakes you up, and you're supposed to help you go into OB. I've never been able to, um, I've had OBs in the middle of the night, but I've never been able to bring one on myself by using that method. The only way it's ever worked is in the late afternoon. I don't know why. But anyway, so I'm floating in low over this highway, and I'm seeing all these cars. I know they're modern day cars, so it wasn't a dream. And I mean, you could smell the exhaust fumes off the diesel trucks and things like that. And I flew in low over and I saw this California Highway Patrolman in one of those gray Mustangs that they drive. He had somebody pulled over, and I flew past him, and it was some guy talking to the cop. I mean, if this was a dream, why would I dream that? I could read the license plates on the cop car. That's how I know um, a highway patrol car. That's how I know that this was. I mean, plus it was very, very real. I could feel the wind and everything as I was flying. So anyway, I zoomed past that, and I end up in what I think is San Bernardino, California, and heading towards Redlands, California. And there's a building there that my dad used to take us to when we were kids, and I recognized it in my dream. I'm not going to say what it is here, but I recognized it. There's this place my dad would have to go when he was stuck with us, and we would have to wait in the car. He would go inside, do business there, and then come back out. And I remember seeing that building, and I'm like, wow, I didn't even think of this place since I was real little, but I saw it clear as day. Um, but anyway, so I was sitting there so overwhelmed by the fact that I saw this and the fact that, wow, this is something I haven't seen since I was like 7 or 8 years old. We flew on, and just I, there's more to it than that, and I can't really go into all of it. I don't have my notes in front of me, but it was just another really strange experience, and I'm still trying to make sense of it. Why I was shown these things, and why, for whatever reason, I flew in low over California. But anyway, the most recent one that I wanted to talk about happened this afternoon, and it was very, very brief. Again, I put myself in a trance because this is the optimum time of the day for me. It's about 3:30, and I put myself in a trance, and I managed to get in the twilight state after about 3 or 4 attempts. And again, for whatever reason, I fly out through this wall, which is the microwave behind me up here. This is the wall I always go through. I don't know why. Go through that wall and outside, and then float up above the house where I live. This isn't an apartment building, but I flew up above that, and I'm kind of hovering over the pool area. And then I look off to the west, and I see the sun as it would look, about almost near sunset. So the time of day was strange. And I know when you're in an astral projection type state, you don't see, things, colors, reality exactly the same as they are. It was like I was looking at a period of time in the future, but it was here. So I know that whatever it is, it's going to happen while I'm here. So I'm going to just go ahead and call this a remote view because it wasn't, I couldn't feel any wind or anything like that. I just had a real sharp vision of the sky. Sky was like a clear, cloudless blue, and it was so dark blue that it was almost strange. It wasn't like dusky blue like when you see the sky, but it was like a clear, like if you go way up high in the mountains, how blue the sky is there. And there was something weird about the sun. Even though it was kind of low on the horizon, it looks like, it would have been where it was at about 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening in the winter. Just before it goes down, not quite on the horizon, but just above it. And I'm staring at it, and there's something weird about it. It's like it was dimmed, like there was I wasn't like I was wearing sunglasses or something, but it was like an eclipse. You know how if there's a total eclipse, the sky will um, it'll get slightly darker, and the sun has a weird golden quality to it. It was like that, but in astral state, I could stare straight at the sun, something you can't do, of course, in regular real life. But I looked right at it, and I saw what looked like, it wasn't the moon that was there, because I could see the moon kind of off to the left, so I knew it wasn't the moon. It was something else in front of the sun, and it was like a ship or something. And I've had, visions of these giant ships. I mean, they're very large. They couldn't land on Earth. I mean, they would be huge. But again, I see this one here, and it's so large that it, takes actually a chunk out of the sun. It's like it's coming straight from the sun towards the Earth, and it's obscuring part of the sun, and everything's darkened, and you can see the moon there, and it was kind of to the south. I'd say southwest of the, from where the sun was going down, and it was just kind of hanging there, but it was darkened as well. It didn't have its usual light, And so I'm staring at this, and I'm like saying over and over to myself, "There's something wrong with the sun. There's something wrong with the sun." And then there's something in front of it, and I have to remember this. And next thing you know, boom, I fall right back into my body, just this pop, and I'm awake. And I don't know what this means, but the funny thing was that I happened to get online. I've been quarantined in Facebook because I posted a picture I wasn't apparently supposed to post. I don't know what the deal was with that, but they won't give me an explanation. But anyway, to make a long story short, I've been banned on Facebook, not from it, but to where I can't post anything. So I just happen to go on there now just to read until my timeline is restored to its proper perspective. I don't know why they don't just kick me out, but just so I go on there and I read. And somebody had posted something about the end times on there and all this, and I got a lot of friends that are into that, and they'll post, different things. And there was a Bible verse on there, Thessalonians 2, and it's just talking about son of perdition coming and the Antichrist and all this. Well, I read a little further in, and I click on this link, and it carries me to yet another online Bible link, and it's talking about Matthew, I think it's Matthew 24 or something, where it's talking about where the sky will be um, darkened, the sun will be, not as bright, and the moon will lose its, it won't shine. And it was just weird how I just, a couple clicks carried me straight to this thing, and I immediately thought of that vision. And you're talking about end times. I believe that we're on the doorstep of it. There are a lot of signs that, to me, that have already happened. There's never been a time in history where we're able to talk about religion and politics or anything worldwide. I mean, all at the same time in real time. This is the only time in history that it's been like this. And I think that if something major doesn't happen on the 21st of December, which I don't think it will, because I think it's the end of an age, which the Bible talks about the end of the age, and that what would herald the end of the age, as Jesus talked about. I think it's in Matthew and Timothy or whatever, talking about the signs of what's to come, the birth pains and all that. And he talks about the end of the age. And if you're talking about the end of the age, if you talk about the Mayan long count calendar, that is the end of the age. It's the end of the first age that we're in right now. It's also the end of the age of Pisces and going into Aquarius. So something, it seems like something's going to happen, but I don't think it'll be natural. I think it'll be caused, by someone who figures the date is significant, so they're going to make something happen. It all falls into the Hegelian dialectic, um, trying to scare people and manipulate them. The people that are in power all around the world now, that's what they do. They use fear to control the masses, so to speak. And anyway, for whatever reason, they can't seem to control those among us who tend to have visions and dreams and visions, as it says in the Bible, that young men will dream dreams and old men will have visions and all that. They can't seem to control that. Um, but anyway, I'm at pretty much almost to the end of my rope here on the time. I'm going to pick this up in a part two and talk a little bit more about some of the visions that I've had, in the last couple of weeks. But I wanted to get that one about the sun out there because it was here while I was at the complex. So I know that whatever that event is going to happen while I'm still living here. So I don't know if it's this year or next, but just thought I would point that out. Anyway, I'll pick this up in part two. Thank you. Bye-bye.